Okay. All the way down, all the way up. Wide push-ups, X at the top. When you need to, drop to those knees. Just avoid swaying in the back. High bench or low bench is fine. Floor is fine for these. 4, 3, 2, stay up high. Chest is pressed, like pressing up into your back. And we take that knee across underneath to tap right by that wrist. So we'll do strength here on these 30-second intervals. And then we'll push kind of endurance with some power on the minute interval. So these feet come back from a wide stance, pull under, tapping that knee side to side. Yeah, we've got this little bench here. We will use this for just getting some maybe cardio or legs going. Take a little stretch back, come to your top of your bench, one arm row on that 30 seconds. Grab that heavy dumbbell and all the way from the floor to the shoulder. So you're just kind of a nice smooth little transition on that bench. We'll do something on the in-between before we grab that other side. These ones too, it's you've got 30 seconds. You're probably getting 8, 10 reps out of this. Watching how vertical that forearm just pulls right up alongside your rib cage. Okay, up on the top, let's take those feet wide. So you're straddling your bench. I don't know if we've done this one. You're narrow like this. You're going over the top, back into that push-up. So it's kind of a easy tricep push-up. Arms naturally are just close to your rib cage. You're on your toes, but obviously it's elevated. So it makes that tricep push-up a little bit easier. And you can just hold it over the top and do push-ups. You don't have to do that stretch back. If you're already warmed up, you maybe not need that full stretch back. I like this because it feels a little bit easier. Hold it up right here. So now you're straddling up nice and tall in those arms. Now that knee comes to the same wrist. So you're holding yourself, feet are back at that angle. Yeah, feel that right in your sides. And you're breathing. Head is farthest forward, looking over past your hands. And you just pull that knee in. That too is because of the angle, makes it just a little bit easier. Back is flat. So these are just 30 seconds. When we get to the minute, we'll have a little bit of pause in there, but obviously it's going to be just twice as hard. Okay, back on your bench, get that weight to the other side. One arm row here. And that will be our first set of the 30 seconds. When we go to this next set, I'm going to keep the timer with that 5-second interval. You'll rest briefly, but we're going to come back and just do the full minute of that exercise. So you will use lighter weight when we do that. And you're pulling 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, leave that weight right underneath there. Come back up this other side of your bench and we're going to start those push-ups. So here's our minute interval. So do those first however many you can with that full range of motion. And you're just going to keep that wide push-up stance. Rest as you need to. It's going to automatically give us 5 seconds at the halfway point where we will stretch it out. And I may change just slightly the position of the hands. That's it. So you've got 8 seconds left on this first part of it. If you're up on your toes, great. Catch your breath. You can stretch back here briefly. 5 seconds. Come in back to that push-up. Finish out the 30 seconds. So there's a full minute of those. I just brought my hands in a little bit more narrow so my elbows aren't going out. They're going a little bit more to the back. If you find you're losing your form, take it to the knees, but that bench is where that chest stops and you push back away from there. Nice. And 7, 6, 5. These minute intervals are just the more about endurance. And I lied on this first one. Come back to your bench. We're going to go into that same heavy one arm row for the first 30. So load your weight on the bench. Give me that first 30, right like this. And then I'm going to add some, we're going to try this. So you're giving me that first 30. And that, like I said, is 8 to 10 maybe reps on this. Hopefully your half of your weight is right by there. 7, 6, you should have a lighter dumbbell handy. You've got the option to drop that heavy one, grab the next lighter weight, And we're gonna hold it up right here with that lighter weight. So pull it up and hold, take it down. Pull it up and hold, 2, 3, nice and easy on the way down. Pull it up and hold, 2, 3, all the way down. So we just changed that pattern of movement, and down, up, 2, 3, and then rep it out. Just pull it all the way up fast. Abs are in tight. That lighter speed changes the way that muscle works. Same action. And
Oh,
3, 2. Okay, relax.
yikes.
Relax. Come back to this. Oh, this is gonna feel glorious. You're straddling the bench. This time, just hold into the plank. Let's start with that kind of reptile abs, we call this. You're breathing, pulling those knees in. Now your arms are stationary. They're stable. They're holding you in that position. Still feeling a little bit engaged, especially on the arm you just worked. But keep those abs in tight. We saw the push-ups to do. This is your first 30 on this, on your abs. And you can rest here for a second for this 5 seconds. We're gonna go down on the elbows, and you're holding that plank right here. So you're just, right in line with your bench, but nothing is touching your bench except your forearms. Holding right here. Inner thighs start to feel this. You're gonna lift right, left. You go to lift those heels. Oh my goodness. Way more challenging than it looks. You've got that flat back, and you shift a little bit side to side, but feel what that does right in those glutes. That is not easy. 3, 2, come back up. Get your other heavy weight for the other arm. And nice and easy, just rep this as you normally would, all the way down, all the way up with that heavy dumbbell. And then you have your lighter one ready. So think about what you're working here. Back of that shoulder, rib cage, full range of motion. Exhaling on the top, all for that posterior side. Pull it up there, 7. Nice. And you have that little transition right here. Pick up that lighter weight, which feels so easy with the first one. You're gonna go up, hold, 2, 3, down, up and hold, 2, 3. So you're probably getting a little bit higher here. Easy on the way down, up, hold, and down, up and hold. And then we just rep that last 15 seconds out. Lift, lift. Back is nice and flat. So don't let your hips adjust to that speed, but it's just nice, easy rep. You'll get that little burn. 5, 4, 3, yes, 2. Okay, relax. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's what that feels like. Let's take this to our medium weights that you were just lifting, half of your heavies, and you're gonna take it to a fly action laying down on the bench. I'll just tilt my bench so you can kind of see where we're going with this. So I have those medium to, yeah, there's half of what you were probably doing on the chest press. Okay, you're gonna lay flat on that back. I pull my knees in so my back stays against the bench. If you have this and you can tuck your hips, great. Palms are straight out like this. So you're almost just holding those weights in your palms. We're gonna go up, real easy on this chest press. So this is literally your third kind of set of chest work here with the push-ups, and then the fly comes right into that. So that nice and easy. This is your lighter weight, not crazy heavy. All the way down, all the way up. Heads of the weights touch at the top, and then you bring them right back down to your shoulders. Simple as that. Then you turn your palms parallel, and it's a different action, but your arms are still here. You go right arm, left arm, just drop that arm right by your body, and then you push it right up to the ceiling, one at a time.
Am I bending it or straight?
Yeah, kind of bend. So you bend like down, your elbow goes past the bench, and then it goes straight up to that center point, but one at a time. So what happens is you kind of start engaging your core because your balance is challenged a little bit. I cross my feet, press my knees together, upper body's relaxed, hold both arms up, and then the superset is into the fly. You're gonna go fly together, down and up together. So this combination, one fly, and those weights come right down to your chest. So big wide arms, narrow press. Fly, and then they come together right by your rib cage. Perfect. Whew. Now that's like 1:30, but you're 2 different exercises here. It's all about mixing it up. 8, 7, 6. That's about all you should want to do. Perfect. You're going to get those weights to your chest, sit up on the edge of your bench, walk your feet out, and you're going to be bent over like this. And here's our back exercise. So again, third exercise, but both weights are pulling into that upper back. So I lean over my thighs, touch the weight behind my ankles, and then pull, sit up, and elbows go up nice and high. Yeah, now that doesn't feel so bad because that's your lighter weight. Perfect. But that speed kind of keeps the heart rate up. We're gonna go right into a leg exercise, holding these weights by your side in this next one. So sit up tall, heels touch that red part of the step or your edge of your bench that you're sitting on, stand and sit down. So now let your arms stretch out. I know it sounds so weird, but weight is dangling. Exhale, stand. The key is just to set that weight onto that bench while your arms are alongside of you. It really helps that you're on the narrow edge, and then you just stand up. So that weight then becomes all about the legs, where how far your heels are placed. Okay, then you sit forward again over the top of those legs. This time it's left arm, right arm. They tap underneath, but you do one at a time with that bent over row. Tap under, pull up. If you keep your ribs and hips kind of just flat, straight over those thighs, you're gonna pull those abs in tight. So the work happens above the back of your ribs. So it's upper back and shoulder, not low back, even though you're tilted forward. So pull it in tight, be forward, and let that gravity work with that dumbbell. Okay, up to the thighs they go. Lay back down on this one. And we do straight up, tap, lower. So you're getting a lot of chest here. Look at the range of motion. Your elbows go down below the bench, up, and both weights touch at the top. Upper body is relaxed as far as your head and neck. Totally relaxed. I'm looking straight up and I see those two weights come together at the top. Nice and easy. Sometimes the lighter weight allows you just to do more reps. Okay, then bring them together at the top, and then you're going to fly together, down and up in the middle. One fly, that little combination. Out, wide, down, up, out, fly. Yeah, so they're just staying in your chest. Don't go over your head yet. That's just a narrow one. Yeah, you're flying out and then down and up. So you see those weights, the palms face each other the whole entire time, down to the chest, out to the chest, down to the chest, out to the chest. 3, 2. Now, okay, sit back up with these. We stand, adding the bicep curl. So you're gonna stand and curl with this. There's momentum to this. I feel like I'm actually swinging my arms, which is fine. You gotta finish the movement up at the top with that bicep curl. Good, getting that cardio up. Press that weight into your heels. Finish with those weights right up at your shoulder. That's good. And then we're gonna stay standing on this interval. 3, 2, stay standing up tall. Bring those weights to your thighs. Tip forward, and you're going to touch the toes, upright row, all the way down, back side, back of the legs, up and pull, back of the legs, up and pull. So these are heavy for this part. We repeat the whole work with maybe one more interval of lighter weights in this. If you can do the whole thing for the minute, then keep those weights. It's gonna feel right now like you can, but I would suggest going down. If you've got 15s, go down to 12s or 10s. Okay, dump those. We're done with that. Pick up the last lighter set of 10s or 12s, whatever you want to go to. And we'll start with this one again. Okay, so same kind of thing. We are seated at the edge of this. Let's do this back one first. So now that the weights are lighter, we're gonna go for full 2 intervals of this 30. So it's gonna feel easy the first part, then it's gonna feel challenging. So you're sitting up tall, palms are going underneath, heads of the weights are touching. So your palms are facing your bench, and we pull up, just as we did It's a little bit faster because those are lighter, but just control the movement. Tap up into the chest. I sit up slightly just to pull my back up. Exhale. Nice. Yeah, so there's a part where it's speed, but you still have really good control because that feels easier. Not a death grip. You're just kind of securing those weights in your fingertips. This is your first 30 seconds. 3, 2, you can rest on this in between. Then you stay here. We're going to go right arm, left arm, right arm, left arm, right. One at a time. There's going to be some holding and some pulsing in 5, 4, 3. Hold it up right here. Hold it. So now feel your muscles working up in that upper back. And we go halfway all the way. So you're not touching the weights. They're right alongside your thighs. Oh my God. And it's just that little pull, flat back. That should be a burnout. Hold these last 5 seconds up. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Heads of the weights to your thighs. Roll it back up to the top. And we're going all the way out, halfway up, all the way up. So now we're kind of in this wide, you don't see your hands coming together in front of you. You're looking straight up, heads relaxed. Arms are out to the side in that wide fly pattern. And you just take it halfway up, all the way down. Bent elbows at that bottom part is totally fine. And you kind of come up and they're going a little bit straight. Hold them all the way up together at the top. All the way, you hold them. Now we go here, that little pulsing action. These are fast, right to your ribs, and you're just burning that out for a few seconds here. Push, push. Oh, that's a different exercise. I realize it's not a full minute of that chest. Matt, hold it up, and we combo. Wide fly, down and up. Wide fly. Oh, my arms are burning. Whoo, fly, down, fly. That's a nice little reprieve of that stretched out arm. Form is the key to this. Out. And we hold it right here. Hold it right here. Take that stretch. Weights are just out in the outside, palms facing your knees. Oh, that should feel good. Bring them up to the top. Now, this is our first time kind of going over. Let that stretch here. Oh, that little stretch down the back of your arms. The weights are touching the bench. My head and neck is relaxed. Legs are going up to the ceiling. Gonna just get a superset of core work here. So I'm not straining my arms. I'm gonna look up, see my feet together, and then lay that head back down. You're gonna drop right, drop left. So what happens here is your back really wants to arch and you're not letting it. So one leg just drops to the floor and then you bring it right back up. Avoid any pulling away from the middle of your back. If that one weight is too heavy or 2 weights are too heavy, you can just go down to 1. It actually helps to have your arms in that position because your upper body will stay pretty solid against the bench. And we're eventually going to move both legs at the same time. And your arms are holding almost in a stretch, but it's weighted, but I'm putting the weights into the bench. Feet up at the same time. We're going to do that little curl. Now it's really tight and controlled. You're on that bench, heels up to the ceiling and lower down, lift. That's assisted. I mean, it really is actually helping because everything's staying down here and you're just working from that transverse, that low abdominal muscle right around your waistband. Legs are nice and straight. Feet are just going right up to the ceiling. Oh, then we've got one last business with a combination of arms and abs. Sitting up like this, you're going to lean back with those lighter dumbbells, feet are floating, and right into this, push. Just like that exercise we were just doing, but now you've got more shoulder because you're sitting upright, floating, push. Oh, part of this is speed. Part of this is holding those dumbbells nice and tight together like that. And then they're coming to the top of your clavicle and we're just pushing straight up and out. Push, push. Oh. Yeah, the lighter weights gives you just a little bit more reps. All right, relax here. This is cruel and unusual, but we're gonna stand, jump, sit back down. Now you get to a standing position, push off that ground. You've got the lighter weights just right by your side. You can do this without any weights. The key is to roll to your foot, push up off the floor, sit back down, really graceful. Yeah, it trains you to keep alignment. The bench isn't gonna move, so it's all up to your body to hold that. And those hands get sweaty holding the weights. Dump them, relax. Whew. We shall swing our little body over to the front of the bench. We've got dips, and let's keep one of those light weights by you. So now I just swung my legs over, sitting up tall. I'm gonna walk those legs out, and if you want that extra resistance, you can hold the dumbbell on your thighs. We're in the between the interval, so let's just hold it up here or resting, and you're not far away from the bench. So I can actually touch my backside to the bench. You're gonna go down and up. So pushing your knees together, ankles together, especially if you're holding that dumbbell, it's down and then you come all the way up, chest stays lifted. And you breathe, exhale. That's the back of that shoulder once again, into that rear deltoid, down into your tricep. Elbows are close and you're almost sitting on your thumb. So your elbows just bend right behind you. Here's that easy light weight on your thighs. 5, 4, 3, hold it up right here, hold it. Good, check that form out nice and tall. Get your body back on the bench. Pick up your dumbbell, lean back, and we're here. That dumbbell should go right beyond your hip, over your waistband, beyond your hip. Feet do not leave the floor and they should be close together. So bring those feet together. That does change the game. Side to side. Oh, getting everything, upper body and a little bit of that back, and then you're nice and isolated here into that core. Nice. Because we're sitting on this wide, we're gonna try this. Set that weight down. Get one leg underneath you, lift up this right leg, stand and sit. That leg is floating. This is your one-legged squat. Stand up. Now you can use your hands on the bench and a little momentum, or if you want to challenge yourself, sit down, standing right up. So from the side, you have that leg floating and I'm leaning to stand and sit back down. The wider the bench, obviously the easier that's gonna be. And hands can help for sure. Not that big a deal if you're just pushing up for balance. Okay, sit back down. Let's go to the other side. Get that foot centered. Your body already knows what it feels like to stand up with one leg. I'm floating my leg right in line with my standing leg. Push, sit back, up and stand. Oh, it requires everything in that glute, hamstring, down the backside. Press, exhale, push. Nice. Oh, you really can start to see that strength if you're dominant on one side or the other. Pick up that light weight, stay seated, lean back, and we're here. Now you wanna make it a little bit bigger. Give me that figure 8 or like you're paddling. Past your right, past your left. Get those feet together. Reminding myself, oh my goodness. Even if it's 10 pounds, you've got that distance of your hands and then your core takes that weight. Pushing. Nice. Very good. And we're gonna try that one-legged thing. If you can, hold that dumbbell, lift that leg, and dumbbell's an option. Stand and sit down. You could rest your foot. Here's another option. Long as you're staggered in the stance, I can rest my foot ahead of me. You're still taking all that weight, but I'm a little more balanced. So I'm setting my weight on my one dumbbell. I really would love to see you just be able to do this, floating that leg. So I know you've got that
that's
strength.
not gonna happen.
It might happen someday. But even this, pushing off like this, you still do it. Okay, go right to the other side. Give that a whirl. There is momentum with that. I mean, I'm sitting back, up and push. And it really is about 5 inches of height where the muscle really has to take that weight to do it. It's at a certain angle when you drop that weight below where the glute does its work. It's a very small part of the range. And if you don't fire there, then we'll start to compensate. Use your back, push forward in your knees. 3, 2, stay seated, grab both of those dumbbells, feet are out. Third final set of this, push, floating my feet and pushing your weights here. We did it on the narrow end, but this is fine. Lean back, push. Getting into that nice strength. We are going to finish the arm business with those heavy dumbbells for 30 seconds. So we're going back to what we normally would consider normal or easy. It's not going to be normal or easy.
Yikes.
3, 2.
Oh.
Okay, last one over the top. Last one here. You got light weights. Pull. Yeah, just overall fatigue. So use that 30 seconds to your advantage. If you just want to count 10 reps and be done, go for it. You want to pace yourself through the 30 seconds, perfectly fine. Knowing we're going to do that heavy chest press, you want to just be conscientious of what is working. This is the back side, back of the shoulders. Whew. We're finishing that set with the heavies and the one arm rows. Okay, dump those light weights. They make another appearance. Catch your breath here. Okay, I'm back this way on my bench, it's fine, but you're gonna be seated with your heavy chest press. We're just gonna do a normal set here. So you've got your heavy dumbbells sitting on the very edge of that bench. Catch your breath. We've got 15 seconds here before we need to be moving, so get a drink of water if you need to. And the key with this is just to think, relax, and my back is pressed into that bench, legs are up, full range of chest press. So if you're counting reps, 10 would be ideal. Press it straight up into your line of sight. The heads of the weights touch, lower, exhale. Do what you can do here. If you start to feel like you're failing in your form, then just get rid of that dumbbell. You can stretch, you can pause as you need to. It should be fatiguing here, yes. All I can do.
One
Push.
more.
Good. See, that's all you need to do. Good. And then easy, set them down. Ugh. Okay, catch your breath here. Holy moly.
Good.
Yeah, that is a little
Yikes.
much. That's
Woo.
so good. But that's what I should feel like, because you did that minute and that just fatigued everything. Then you call in and say, give me your last full set. That's where you build your strength. Okay, now we've got that one arm business. So get your heavy ones. We're probably done with those medium ones because we're doing our last final set of 30 seconds. So you've got your big heavy dumbbell. Focus on the form on here. Okay, load that weight here. Get that weight right alongside and gentle roll all the way up. Nothing in your back is moving. Just let that arm do everything. Up high to your rib. That leg that's on the floor is a kickstand. It's just keeping you balanced. So when you're stretched out like this with that hand and that thigh, everything down that side starts to do that work. Yeah, this too. If you're getting to 10 reps and that's all you can do, dump it. That's totally fine. We will do the in-between push-ups. Yay,
Oh, wow.
3, 2, bonus. Okay, dump that. Come back like this. Stretch your feet wide over the top. Hold this plank for a second. So just look at your alignment. Shoulders straight down to the wrists. And then we pull that knee to the same wrist. Nothing moves across your back, so you're stable. Right there, just stable. That knee comes right alongside your bench. And then that weight makes that oblique do that work. So almost think of like you're pushing your knee through water. There's that resistance of the weight, and then that ab totally contracts to hold you there. Stretch back briefly. We've got our push-ups. You go over those thumbs, push it back. Now, if you're just doing push-ups, oh my God. You're over the top, just doing the push-up. Nice and long. God, this arm. Whew. Stretch as you need to. You can stretch back. We do have the other arm to do on the one arm row. I'll turn my body this way. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, other side. Load that body weight, and now you're fatigued. So this should be your good arm. Finish strong without faltering the form. This is your last set with that heavy dumbbell. So pull it all the way up, nice and easy. Good, stable. Oh, that's so challenging, but so good. Yeah, you can pause, you can take that 30 seconds or get rid of your 10 reps and then just be resting. 7, 6. We've got our last set of low elbow plank down that bench. 4, 3, 2. All right, down on your elbows.
14.
Oh my God. On your
Both
third
sides,
set,
14.
and that's a third. You have a 40 or a 30? That's a 40.
I have a
Oh my
40.
God, Heidi, that's ridiculous. That's so awesome.
Oh,
Okay, just rest right here. That
I'm
is
dying.
huge. Yeah, as you should be, as intended. Oh my God. So then when you hold this plank, it's just like your arms don't want to do this.
One arm rows, I do 40, but when I'm on the back doing the push, the whatever you call when you have weights in both hands and you're laying on your back, I do 30s for those.
Yeah, that one too. Just because, you don't need to be dropping that when you're when you're at your house. Oh, hold that plank briefly. That, especially when you do time under tension, and I doubled that interval. God, I mean, shaky. It just weakens everything because you use every bit of fuel you have stored up in those muscles. Come up on your hands. Yeah, I'm right now. I'm like, this is shaky. Take that one leg forward. Let's just take this little stretch here. We will. What we're gonna do. I like that with isolation where we're gonna be on the decline bench, kneeling to get a little bit more glute stuff. So we're just stretching here. So step that other leg forward, take the stretch. We won't need any weights here. You can as an option, but I'm gonna decline just one side of this bench and then set my mat on here. We're gonna do this one. We did this, I think, last time, which is kind of good. Isolating that glute without taxing the arms too much. So you're gonna come into this position, and this should feel good because that bench is kind of rough. If you so chose to challenge yourself and you had a ball or a light weight, this 10-pound isn't light, but it's doable. We're gonna be here. So you're just load your body weight into a kneeling bridge. I'm using my back foot to hook on the edge, and all you're doing is swinging this. I do not need that dumbbell. So the key is really the range. I want that heel to come up high. So you're engaging that glute, and that thigh comes up higher than the glute. So you're pushing that knee up, come right together, push it up higher than your hip height is what I'm trying to say. So there's that hip alignment. You're pushing up beyond that. Hold it up, straighten that leg out, keep it high, and keep your body square. And we just tap straight down with that toe, pretending your leg is in a cast. No bend in the knee, flexing that foot, toe hits the ground, come straight up. Now, if this is too much on your upper body because your arms are shaking, you can go down here. It should not be a lot of weight forward. You really want to be in a line. That's why this decline bench is so magic, that it takes your weight back here off of my arms.
I forgot to do that.
Oh, shoot. Oh, dang it. Okay, you can stretch it back here. I mean, that's just going to add a little bit of weight to it. It's not going to be detrimental if you didn't do it. Okay, stretching back just briefly. We'll go right into that other side. So get the bridge first. Nice. We've already done 60 intervals. Good. Tuck that toe to the edge, nice and solid on that upper body. Bent knee. You just pass the knee and then keep everything bent on this one. Same thing. The heel is the highest point, pushing up to the ceiling. Down and push. And that hip just does that nice extension, flexion, extension. Keeping your body narrow as if you've got walls kind of on your bench. You're nice and tight, moving linear. And weight is just gently into those heels of your hands. Hold it upright like this. And your hips are square to the bench. Straighten out that leg. And then we go toe to the ground, straight leg up. Now that's a longer lever. Should feel a little bit more challenging, but you're probably bringing in a little of your low back, which is fine. As long as it doesn't hurt. We're not flinging it, you're muscling this. So if you go down on those elbows, you really can only work that glute. My back is not going to be able to be in a position to help. Oh my God, the leg that's even on the bench is stabilizing right here. Press, hold right here. Bring both knees into the bench, sit back into that nice long child's pose. Ooh, that's a good one. And then the other one too, where we're laying all the way on the bench. So come forward, lay down like this. I'm gonna keep kind of my head and chest up over it. So my arms are by my side. Bend both of your knees. And you kind of feel stuck right here. You can take your legs wide. So they're gonna drop down alongside of the bench. You can hang onto the bench, or this is what we did last time, I believe, had a weight out in here. And you're just gonna lift those feet at the same time. Lift. Oh my goodness, this is complete glute medius, that outside of your hip, and your back does not arch. Another magic of this decline bench, I can't really arch my back, so I'm only allowing my glutes to do this. And if you do not have the strength to do that, you can do one at a time, which is a little awkward, or straighten out your leg. That'll give you a little bit more range, but you quickly identify the weak muscles here. And typically it's that glute backside. And walk your feet out straight. They're straddling that bench. This will be the hardest of them. Lift both and lower. So now I'm hanging on to that weight. That weight is actually helping me. If you can do it without the weight, great. But I like that my upper body is just down on the bench. Oh, it's not a big lift. Feels like I'm moving a mountain and it's barely lifting up. But that's everything right there. These are your fine tuning muscles. This gives you that lateral, gives you that shape. Oh my goodness, 3, 2. Okay, leave your legs down, relax them. And now the upper body, we're not gonna tax it too much because we're already lifted. Just pull your chest up off that bench, and now you're working above that waistband. So now we are getting a little bit of upper back. If you keep your shoulders down low, away from your ears, you really let that mid muscle, the erector spinae muscles, pull and get you upright. If you tuck your elbows into the bench, that's gonna be less resistance. Hands on the floor or even less. And then I'm gonna have us try one new one. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it with these arms, but we'll try. Come up into a plank. I think our hands should be on the ground. Yeah, wide plank. You're gonna touch back to your hip, touch back to your hip. So you're over that bench and that hand comes back right along side. It touches your hip, touches your hip. Oh my goodness. That's abs. And then you get that one arm. Lucy. Oh boy, right up. That was me. Oh boy, I hit the floor and she thought someone was knocking. Touch back, touch back. Lucy, stop. Okay, relax, relax. Let's swing her little body around this way. Now you're on the decline. These are kind of, again, we're not really overtime, but kind of time-wise. All right, chin to the chest. Bring your knees up. This is just your dead bug. So again, the decline's working against me. Lucy, and you're looking at your knees, elbows are pointing toward them, touch them. I don't mean come here, just stop working. You're here. So now squeeze the knees together, and funny how that makes a difference. Get the elbows on the outside of the knees. I may sit up a little bit higher or pull the knees in, and then this becomes easy. My elbows are already touching the knee. Just extend that leg out and come across. There is really no rest. Everything from that rib to the hip, tight. It's not fast. It's more about the twist and the touching. Push. Tiny, tiny little movement right in the core. Push. Breathe. Oh my goodness. 10 seconds. Yes, that feels just really good. All those core work that we did prior. 3, 2. Oh, take it down. Come into a bridge. Let your arms stretch. Now, this literally is a stretch for your arms. If that's too much or you feel any tightness in the shoulder, then just take your hands closer to the bench or to the floor. But if you can float them in that T, that opens up the chest, rotates that shoulder out. If you can go gently up over your head, interlace those fingers and press, but you are still working this back side. So from the side view, this gives you a nice, what we call tabletop, knee to the hip, to the shoulders. Oh, bring those arms out. Lower those hips down and then pull your knees into the chest and let that stretch that low back. So try to keep your head back. Oh, that was good. It's fun on a Sunday to kind of push that strength and then challenge the time versus reps under tension, we call it. Bring that chin to the chest, push your knees into your hands like you're going to kind of roll up to a seated position and then let that stretch the back part of your shoulders there. That feels good. Roll it up and then take those legs straight out. Let's go over the top of this and then stretching that back of your legs. Oh, your hamstring, same concept. If you flex those feet, what that does is just straighten out those legs and then you get that nice stretch straight up the back side. Take note if your feet are level, your toes are flexed at that same angle. Can you reach both toes? And then you drop your head in between that upper arm and then take your right hand to the left foot and then bring your left hand up and behind you. So you get that little twist. Oh, that too should stretch up in the back, looking over that shoulder. You rotate back to the center. Can you go a little bit deeper over the middle? And then you grab that left foot with right foot with the left hand. Bring your right hand behind you. Oh, that's not the same. That doesn't feel the same range. Oh my goodness. And then come back to the center, sit up nice and tall. Bring those arms up over your head. I'll just face you. And then lean over to this left side, up and over. Everything in here, that arm just feels weak. It even feels shaky to have it up over my head. Other direction, just lift it up. You're sitting laterally, stretching out that whole side. It's a fun way to make the weights feel heavier by holding them longer or by working the range and speed. That changes the game completely. Okay, let me just stop this and I can stop recording, stop the video. But I didn't, oh no, I wanted to stop the recording. Stop.